Stealth Army, we are back with another video today. Hope you guys are doing great. We are checking out Reddit. And if you guys didn't see my first video where we covered Reddit ideas, I'll have a link down below in the description. Some incredible ideas from the Reddit community. And this time we're covering 10 simple ideas for 1.19, the Wild Update. So it's going to be a blast. Really excited about everything we've seen so far for the Wild Update. And of course, we got a lot of content coming for the Warden and the Deep Dark. So let's get hyped, everybody. Hopefully you're equally excited for everything related to 1.19. If so, please do me a huge favor by leaving a like. It really supports the channel, as well as consider subscribing. Only 40% of you watching the video are part of the Stealth Army, and I'd love to see you around here. So the first idea is called 1.19 boats should have barrels on them, not chests. So I'll have all the details and information down below in the description if you guys want to check it out, but here's the post. Barrels give villagers the fisherman job. Fishermen use boats, ships to fish. It would give a little nice touch to differentiate between minecarts and boats. Therefore, boats should have barrels, not chests. Edit, after multiple comments, both. Yeah, both is good. So I definitely agree that it would be nice to see some contrast, especially between the minecarts and the boats with the chest. Obviously, this isn't a game-changing feature, something relatively simple, as most of these ideas will be in today's video, but I think it would make a nice little subtle difference. And of course, it's all about variety as well, so being able to choose between the chest or the barrel, let me know which one you guys would choose. But let's go ahead and move on to the next idea, and this is probably one of my favorite ideas so far, and it's relatively simple as well. A better way to tell potion types apart. So here's a picture sort of depicting the regular, the extended with redstone, and then the enhanced with glow dust. But here's the actual description of the idea. I think simply changing the cork color can make it easier to tell different potions apart, especially in creative with all the potions. So obviously when you hover over the potion, it tells you exactly what it is in the extension or the potence of it. But I still think visually having that difference with the cork is a nice little minor change that would probably go a long way, especially just for people that are scrolling through really fast. Maybe you're in a dire situation and you don't have time to really hover over every single potion. So being able to sort of distinguish potions based off of the cork color would probably help in that process, as well as just for aesthetics, right? Just being able to organize your inventory based off of the cork color is probably just a lot more visually appealing. But share your ideas and thoughts down below when it comes to potions. And what else do we need to see in terms of changes? But let's discuss the next idea, and this one is pretty crazy. It's called Other Side Plays Backwards in the End. Here's the description. Players discovered that when you play Other Side backwards, the disc sounds like an entirely new disc, almost as if the disc was meant to be played both ways. This disc is also primarily spawns in strongholds, with the name suggesting the transition between the overworld and the end. Here's what it sounds like. Moving on to the next idea, which includes enchantments, so you already know I'm hyped. It's called More Negative Enchantments. Curse of Stinking. For armors, repels peaceful mobs and attracts hostiles. Useful for when itching for a fight. Radius depends on level of enchantment. Curse of Sapping. Broken items with this enchantment will drain the player's HP to repair themselves. Can be lethal in higher level ones. Rate of sapping health and how much is repaired depends on level of enchantment. So I love this idea for a lot of different reasons, but the main reason is the amount of difficulty this adds to Minecraft. And of course, we always hear about people that feel like Minecraft is way too easy, especially once you get full netherite gear that's enchanted. Then I can understand why some people would feel that way. And I feel like it's also time to add not only more enchantments, but more curses. And some of these ideas that involve curses would just make the game almost impossible. Something that literally drains your health. That just sounds intense, but it might be a lot of fun for people that really want that challenge, that want to feel like, wow, I could die any moment, even if it's not related to hardcore. Just having something that really forces you to play a certain way, I think would be very appealing to a lot of players, a lot of veteran players out there. But share your ideas down below when it comes to curses. Let's move on to the next idea, and this one is called the Eclipse Challenging Event for the strongest players. So the Eclipse is a rare event that happens over 1,000 to 1,500 Minecraft days or so. It will not come suddenly. A few days before the lunar disk will begin to cover the sun. Until the eclipse, daylight will reduce every day. However, it will not be enough to spawn monsters in daytime. The sun will be fully covered, the sky will become dark, and the message, "The eclipse starts," will appear above your hotbar. Daylight reduces down to 7, so monsters can spawn even during the day. The eclipse lasts all day unless you want to sleep. In that case, the eclipse will be skipped and you will wake up the next morning. So, this is a really fun idea. It's nothing new. I'm sure you guys recall I discussed a similar idea on feedback. So I think it's called like the Blood Moon event or the Red Moon event. Like there's a lot of ideas related to this type of event system. And I think it's important for Mojang to constantly think of fun, unique ways to add more events in Minecraft. Similar to the raid system, just sort of these unexpected things happening in the world that you just can't completely control. And I think a lot of people would enjoy it. Minecraft doesn't necessarily have to be predictable like Mojang feels like we want it to be. I think even just considering volcanoes as an event, a lot of people would enjoy volcanoes. It doesn't mean that they have to go destroying everything in sight and destroying people's builds, but I think just having events that you don't necessarily know when it's coming or what's going to happen would definitely be new territory for Minecraft to explore in future updates. But share your ideas down below in the comment section. But let's go ahead and move on to the next idea called "Poison should be like regeneration for undead." So here's the post. Given that instant damage heals zombies and instant health damages them, it is only fair that poison should act as regeneration, and regeneration should act as poison to them. So of course this is a very important idea, especially if you don't live close to a village, which I'm sure a lot of us don't anymore because of 1.18 making villages pretty rare. So being able to convert a zombie villager to a regular villager is also a tad bit difficult at times, and they can take fall damage, they can take damage by the sun. So having a new way to sort of heal them, to get their health back up, would just be amazing. But let's move on to the next idea called Cluster of Fireflies and Fireflies in a Bottle. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the idea. So the fireflies are still being tested and worked out. However, we still want them to be small, but having 100 small entities in one area would be bad for performance. Here's my solution. Instead of one firefly being one mob, make 10 or 12 fireflies one firefly cluster. The hitbox would be around the size of a pig, with the fireflies flying inside of it. Right-clicking these clusters with the bottle grants Firefly in a Bottle. The fireflies in a bottle will get brighter and darker, giving an almost pulsating light effect. This is one of the coolest ideas I've seen so far in regards to fireflies, and I definitely like the idea of having a light source that's not consistent. But share your ideas down below when it comes to fireflies. Let's go ahead and move on to the next idea called Frostwalker should stop you from sinking in powdered snow. The title is pretty self-explanatory. Like leather boots, having Frostwalker stops the player from sinking through powdered snow and eventually freezing to death. Now I know some people are not necessarily going to like this idea because maybe it makes leather less useful in some shape or form. Leather is not going to be as commonly used in the mountains if you can just get Frostwalker. But at the same time, Frostwalker is more of an in-game type of enchantment. It's not something you typically would get early on in the game, similar to mending, right? These are enchantments that are obviously a little bit more challenging to acquire. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of just sort of revisiting old concepts, old ideas, things that are currently in Minecraft, and building off of them, making them better, making them fit the current Minecraft. Last week we talked about feather falling and the enchantment not being able to destroy your crops if you happen to jump on it with feather falling. Like those type of small adjustments to old enchantments and old ideas is what I feel like we need currently in Minecraft. So this next idea, I sort of just want to generalize it and put it under one big category because I've seen a lot of ideas in regards to beacons. And I think it's safe to say that beacons just need a lot of major improvements. But today it's all about the simple ideas, but I can think of at least 10 ideas, and I'm sure you guys can as well in regards to beacons. But here's one of the ideas. Slow falling should be a beacon power. Building can be pretty annoying when you have to get to a specific place that would take too long with scaffolding, but flying with the Elytra and landing on it is too hard. So I think this would be a pretty useful way for that. So slow falling would be very helpful, especially if you're like me and you're always building in the sky. Like I'm constantly working on sky islands. And then there's another idea talking about a health boost for beacons. And I know some people are not going to be fond of the idea of just adding more to beacons because maybe that makes them broken. And in my opinion, getting a beacon is one of the most challenging things in Minecraft. If you have a beacon, you have earned it. You deserve to get the rewards and the benefits of owning that beacon. It's really challenging to get it, to get the star. Like, it's just not easy at all. I also feel like maybe you can unlock some of these new powers only if you have a netherite tower. So can you imagine a netherite tower will unlock new powers for you? You gotta admit, that would take a lot of grinding. I mean, even just getting a netherite block would take several days, I imagine. So share your ideas down below when it comes to beacon powers, but let's move on to the final idea in today's video. And if you guys want to see a part 2 or a part 3, please help me out with a like. Let's see if we can get over 500 likes in the video. But here's the idea. Ravager riding. What if after you abduct or move a Ravager away from a raid, you can slowly tame it using food or just breaking it from the wild? You wouldn't be able to attack with it, though it would just make it friendly, to you only. Another possible idea would be the ability to charge with it, dealing damage or breaking crops and leaves intentionally. What do you guys think? So I'm sort of mixed on this idea because it can obviously go south really quick, especially when it comes to balancing and having something that's maybe too powerful to have as a pet or as a tamed mob. I do like the idea of being able to slowly purify this to make it good over time through either giving it food, showing it attention, bringing it on your journeys, and then it slowly becomes more trusting and more loving. I think that's really cool. It's something that Mojang hasn't really explored before, so I do like that idea. I'm not a huge fan of the Ravager attacking. I think that could get really out of hand very quickly. So maybe it's just more of a horse type of mob that's beefier, that moves a little bit slower. Obviously, it can take more damage, and maybe it can do something else, like mentioned earlier, like it can destroy bushes and maybe trees as well to some extent. But I encourage you guys to share your feedback, share your input in regards to all of these ideas that I discussed in today's video down below in the comment section. And hopefully you enjoyed the video as well. I really had a lot of fun recording this, so I'll see you guys in the next video. So take care, everyone. Peace.